My name is Dr. Kevin Pecca. I wanted to make a podcast that exposes people to the true miracles of life and health. All the guests on this show have been specially picked because they bring something positive to the world. They have some of the most amazing and inspiring life stories. These people have a passion for living, healing, and leaving the world better than they found it. There is something inside these people that made them keep fighting through all the tough times, even when people told them it was not possible. They carried on and made their lives beautiful again. And now they are sharing their experiences with the world. This is the Expect Miracles podcast. Enjoy the show. Dr. Kevin Fischer and I have been best friends since I can remember. We grew up playing basketball together at the age of 6. We went to the same middle school. We stayed close throughout high school and college. And we ended up going to chiropractic school together to get our doctorates. It was a very rewarding, hard, and fun 4 years, and I couldn't have done it without him. Dr. Kevin is an amazing person, extremely good at what he does, and has worked very hard for everything he has. We have been through everything together from a young age. He is my brother, and I am very excited to have him on the podcast today. Please welcome Dr. Kevin Fischer. Today on the podcast, we have Dr. Kevin Fischer, one of my best friends since forever. Went to chiropractic school together, did everything together, middle school, basketball. Great guy. Excited to have him on today. Kev, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. How's work and everything been at the new office?
Work's good. It's definitely a grind. I'm working at another office as well, trying to just pick up some hours, pick up some shifts.
Yeah.
The office is going really well, though. I mean,
it's a lot of work to start up a new place, right?
It is. And honestly, I didn't think at first I had my doubts, obviously.
Yeah, which is completely normal, like everybody does.
Yeah, and coming out of school, I set on it. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to see my own patients, bring in the patients that really attract to me.
That's like, you know what I didn't like about our school? They scared the shit out of you, like, with everything.
Yeah,
like,
they
don't do this. You're not going to be able to do this by yourself. Don't adjust this person. It's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
It's like, and in some cases they might have been right, but like, they really put a lot of fear in you before you even get out there.
They do, and it's I haven't really come across it, but I guess they prepare you for the worst, which is a good sign. Yeah. But just to recognize it. But again, the patients that you want to go out and seek and bring into your office, ultimately you're just going to attract them.
And you were pretty much, I think, like out of the 100 people we graduated with, I think you were up and running light years ahead of everybody. Like you had it. So how long did you have it in your head that you're like, all right, you pretty much do this with everything. My mind is made up. I'm doing this and this is what it's going to take. So how long in the works did you have, like, in your head, you're like, all right, this is what's going to go on?
It started in school.
So there's 10 terms in chiropractic school.
Yeah.
When were you like?
I would probably say in like third or fourth term, I got into this mentorship program with Amped. Mm-hmm. They're humongous around the nation. I didn't really know what it was. A classmate of ours, Nicole, she brought me into it. Went to one of their seminars, and it was good, because they really instilled confidence in you coming out of school, allowing you to really open up with a lot of
How does that work?
Momentum.
Do they assign you, like, this is your guy that's going to help you all along the way?
Yeah, they definitely have a person or another doc that's in there and he's telling you what you should do. Kind of, again, a guideline. I didn't really follow along with it. It was more like the content of, again, patients. You want to seek patients. So,
yeah, absolutely. Whichever way you want it.
Yeah, whatever way you want to really do it. So, and there's a lot of people who, they come right out of school and they're seeing, a lot of patients right out the start of the gate. And it really helped you, again, the confidence of going out, finding a place.
Well, that alone, just talking to somebody that's done it before.
It's tough, yeah. So I reached out to a guy down in Toms River, and this is where I was really just starting to search. This third and fourth term is where I started saying, okay, I want to do it. And it still was so early for me to be like where I actually wanted to practice.
Yeah.
Started getting later on, 6th, 7th term. I reached out to a guy in Toms River. It was all about renting. So I knew that I didn't want to go out and get a loan from the bank.
Right.
Just a different route. So I had an idea to be an independent contractor, rent out of an office, and then, have my own patients.
Right.
And again, lower my overhead, which is humongous in the beginning.
Well, you ended up not doing that, right?
No, I didn't do the one in Toms River. So I got into a little riff with the guy. And Toms River was a good idea at the time. There's a bunch of people in a community that seemed to be, a decent place to practice.
Are you still in school at this point looking at all this stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
So
before you even graduate, you're trying to set everything up.
Yeah. So I'm looking into it. And I just started getting a visit at his office when I came home for break. Mm-hmm. And it was like, all right, this might be the place.
Yeah.
Again, not knowing the area so much, I started thinking about other things that I can do in the meantime. Like, where should I start to look to do events, talks, all of that good stuff. And then I finally got home. I did a preceptorship in Connecticut. And that's where I really started honing in on where I wanted to be and practice and, help people out. And again, that further solidified when I was home. Toms River, the drive was a little too far. The traffic, it was just impossible to really get there if I wanted to be down there. A lot of my close family, friends were in, this Monmouth County area. That's shooting towards Ocean County. It's different. It's different. So only 40 minutes away, but again, a different type of town. And
different time zone.
Yeah, it is. But so I started looking a little bit more. Even my brother was like, why do you want to do Toms River? I said, I just thought it was a good idea. But anyway, fast forward, I was kind of in a whirlwind where, again, was it going to a bank or find another spot? Now, February comes around. I have a job lined up down in Atlantic City. That's an hour commute.
So you're graduated at this point.
I'm graduated at this point.
For a couple months now. Your license just kicked in?
License just kicked in around, let's say, like late January. I got a job in February down in Atlantic City for the meantime. And I knew that if I opened up in February, I just wouldn't have that momentum. So it took me 2 months to really kind of get out there. But again, I found this realtor. He showed me a spot. I loved it. And it really was in my mind, I want to be here. It was already set up for me. I didn't have to. You
fell into a really awesome spot.
Yeah, I did. And it was kind of a blessing. And, the office was already a chiropractor in there. So there was an x-ray room that I didn't have to necessarily. There's so much stuff with an x-ray room.
So much.
A lot of people, again, I think they don't know about it. And I was like, this saved me a lot of money. They already had the letting.
A ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there was just one room for me to adjust. And I think that's all I really needed.
Keep it simple, yeah.
Keep it simple in the beginning. And it really, I said, this is it. So I signed the lease in March. And I opened up April 4th that following month.
Yeah.
So it was
impressive because there was a ton of people that in our class that weren't even done yet. Like you were set up, you had set up shop before because California's lacking.
Oh yeah.
It took them 3 months to send my transcripts to New Jersey.
I know.
And they're like, oh no, it's cool. We got it. I was like, no, send it over. I'm ready. And
exactly. And as a student, again, you're trying to go through the process of, having everything in line so you can set up and just go out there and help a community that might need you in there.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like they try to teach you their best about the business side of it, but there's really how can you prepare?
Yeah.
Until it's your money.
Yeah.
And your clients coming in and it's just a different world. You can read all the books you want.
Yeah, exactly.
You have it going, but once it's you can't get it until it's game time.
Yeah, and it's so tough to even get in. So I'm actually, a year in a month. So
that's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that. I just graduated a year ago and a year into business. It's a lot of work. I'm tired, but I'm glad that I did it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It feels good.
Well, I mean, the last 4 years have been a lot of work.
Yes.
The amount of stress chiropractic school mentally puts on your body is just every day your adrenaline's flowing because you have some guy with a clipboard. You have to regurgitate 30 orthopedic tests that you're just everything is crammed.
Yeah, it is. And it was tough, man. It was
very tough.
Easy to get into, don't get me wrong, but tough to really survive. And they were weaning people out in that first, month or two.
What did we start with? How many kids did we start with, you think?
We started with probably 130.
And then at the end of the 2 weeks, it was down to 100 maybe?
And I would say at the end of the first semester, we were Probably below 100 people.
Well, I remember that I was sitting next to one kid, and this kid never took anatomy. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you gotta get a book on you real quick.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there's also really brilliant people.
Yeah.
That are just like, how does he know that? I
Yeah.
don't know anything.
Exactly.
So it's both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, and I think we were like in the middle of
In the
that
middle.
group. We
Oh,
weren't. We also didn't know what we were really getting into.
We had no idea. We picked up in New Jersey, left at midnight,
Yeah.
and went across the country to California. Didn't have anything.
Yeah.
We arrived in California at 7 a.m. and we're like, all right, I guess we should get a bed to sleep on.
Seriously, we went to Sam's Club. We were still hurt from, the 6 days of going across country visiting. And
I was dying.
Yeah, Pega was dying.
We were supposed to stop at Arizona State. And honestly, that was one of the toughest things on the trip I had to do. Like, we were driving for 10 hours. And I had to turn to, like, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I can't go to Arizona State. I'm just too sick.
I remember just looking at you driving. You looked at me with this look that your eyes were in the back of your head. You said, dude, I cannot go there. And I was like, why? Like, this is going to be awesome. He's like, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
And it was that alone. I was like, all right, let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's just go to California. Like, no worries.
Thank God we did, because we didn't know we had orientation like in a day.
No.
So we would have missed that. Yeah, no, it was unreal that we did that together, because I don't think I would have been able to. I couldn't imagine showing up to orientation by myself and not knowing anybody.
Yeah.
And like, you have characters like Brady come up to you. And
Brady, yeah. I'm glad we met Brady. Brady was a
Brady's
good dude.
a great dude.
Yeah.
Great
Keep
guy.
in touch with Brady and
Amanda.
yeah, Amanda's cool. They're awesome together.
Amanda's cool. Love Amanda.
But yeah, I mean, that first day it really didn't hit me that we were actually doing it.
No.
We just got out there and it was almost like
Everything was wrong.
Yeah, we were winging it.
Yeah. We were winging it. We did pretty well, I
Yeah.
would say. Definitely.
And showing up to that apartment complex, it was like, wow, is this California? Like, it was a nice place, and then it turned out to be not so nice.
It's weird, because if you're not by the beach in California, you really don't know where you are. We were like 45 minutes inland in Whittier, and it kind of looked like Florida.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of strip malls, and
it was
a crazy spot.
It was good, though. I mean, school...
Huge learning experience. Like,
it was.
Grew a lot out of that.
I think the trip was the best part. You know, we
New
had
Orleans.
we had a good time.
Fun.
Yeah.
Those hurricanes will get you.
Yeah, I think
Nashville was great.
Nashville, I think, was my favorite part of that. Just because I think everyone in Nashville is really, really nice. Everyone just wants to be friends with you. And I don't know, the old honky tonk, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Just the bar. There's live music everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, the toughest part of just doing that whole trip is if you're going to try to do everything, it's waking up the next day and driving
getting going
for 10 hours.
Yeah, we were set, to be there within a week?
Yeah. And I think we stopped for 2 days in Texas because we were shot.
Yeah.
That was cool walking around Texas Stadium.
Yeah,
UT.
it was. We saw we saw the Heisman. Who won the Heisman that year?
Was that Ricky Williams?
Yeah, Ricky Williams.
That huge statue.
Yeah.
And then we woke up.
We saw their national championship trophy.
Yeah, we saw the whole tour.
Yeah.
And then I remember we were set on getting some really good Texas BBQ.
Yeah.
And we woke up at 1 and we thought we were good. And the guy's like, you better hustle because they're going to be out of food in a half hour.
Yeah, which is insane to think about that barbecue spot. They sell out all of their meat by
they're done by 2.
1:30. Yeah, 2
done.
o'clock.
And that was the best meal of all time. That was unreal.
It was. It was a great experience, man. I love Texas as well. I mean, I wish we went to ASU, but
yeah, and our window is fastly closing on that. I don't know if we can go. I don't know if we can go there yet. We have a couple years left.
Yeah,
then the window's gonna be shut.
But I mean that road trip was. I'm so glad I did it. I don't think I'll ever do it again though.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But yeah, and then the first year of school is just pretty much all bookwork.
Yeah.
It's just all bookwork. You do stupid things on people like palpation. Well, not stupid, but it's very minor until like a year in. And you don't even remember why you're at school.
Yeah.
After a while, it's just straight books.
Exactly. I just remember first and second term they weren't hard, but again, they were a lot of introduction to what we were actually doing.
Yeah.
Third term was probably the hardest.
The workload was getting insane.
Yeah. to me, I was getting nervous because I was doing well in some classes, and then
Well, then they give you those stupid classes that mean nothing, that are hard.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of that tedious work that I think got to me. I was a year out. I was actually thinking about going back to New York to finish school.
What term was that?
That was term 2.
And what was going on that you were like, all right,
I really think I just missed everyone home.
Yeah.
It was a lot. I mean, I was doing well. I wasn't failing anything. I wasn't slacking. It was just a lot, and I've never been away. I went to community college. All of our friends, more than none, went away, and they experienced that, you know, away from your family type of.
Yeah. But I mean, it's different when you have to hop on a plane to get back to everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
Going away like 3 or 4 hours, you're like, all right, I'm going to just get in the car and go back for the weekend, and that's fine. But like, it's almost like.
And that's exactly what I started doing. I had a really long talk with my uncle, and he's like, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be a chiropractor. He's like, well, let's figure out a way to like get you through this. Mm-hmm. And from right there, I hopped on a plane. I went home for a week, and it just felt refreshing.
Yeah.
So every single semester, I went home for break.
Yep.
I took a week off from school.
You were the only kid in
go
chiropractic
home.
School history that would show up a week later. Everyone would be so pissed.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, where's Kevin Fischer? It's like, oh, no, he's taking an extra week, believe it or not. Everyone's like, why does he get to do that? I was like, because he just pulls it like he plans ahead and makes sure everything is okay.
Yeah. And I think that really, it sped up actually the semesters. I knew when my break was, I knew when midterms were going to be, when I had windows to leave and just come back and pretend like I was sick. And you know what? I'm sorry, but like, I think everyone needs it because it's really tough to go and be through. You have 22 credits. It goes up to about 26 like each semester until our last 8th term or 9th term. Yeah. So it's mentally draining and a lot of these things, and they expect you to know and ace a lot of these tests where, you know, I don't have that mental capability to really just, you know, ace everything. I never was that person.
Well, I mean, what's the difference? There's a couple people in our term that would get straight C's and they and they're good doctors. Yeah. And they would graduate. They graduated with us. And then you have people that were straight A's. And it's almost like they don't know how to talk to people. Like,
they were just more stressed than none. And I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that person who's overstressing these things. Yeah. And it is stressful.
Yeah.
But I just didn't really want to, you know, have that on my shoulders at that point. So that's where all those breaks really just came into play, and I just needed that for my own psyche.
Yeah. I mean, I think that happy medium makes you a better doctor because, I mean, obviously we won't say any names here, but you know, there was a couple people that like they're like reading the book and it's like, this is how this is going to look like.
Yeah.
Take the book away. You have to talk to people.
Exactly.
Like this is how it's going to go down. You have to react to people.
Yeah.
You can't just read something out of a book and think it's going to be okay, which obviously you get a lot of good information from, but you got to learn how to talk to people. It's a very personable job.
Yeah. And I think, and that's why they also call it practice, is that, you know, you take in learning experiences, and it's not all by the book. No. You know, you'll have someone who is, you know, whatever it may be. It's just, how many times do you see it? How many times can you just, you know, see that person, know exactly what it is, just because you've seen it 10, 11 times, you know? And the book it's nice to know, but it's also, again, it's not practice, not, you know, real life at that point.
Yeah. And then it was cool when we started getting into the actually treating people like 2 years in at the like those satellite clinics.
Yeah.
That was, you could really start to see where you're going and like the skills you're developing, and it becomes hands-on, and that's the fun part.
Yeah. And I think you get fed a lot of information in your first, second, third term. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, you have to be diversified. You have to be, you know, upper cervical. You have to, you know, this is the best technique, but in reality, it's, you know, what do you like? What works for you?
Yeah. And in a sense, we were really lucky where we had those instructors like Dr. Babikian, who was awesome. Yeah. She's like, what do you do? Make sure you're doing it well. Yeah. And you can do your thing. Yeah. And that was awesome. She was just really cool, and I feel like it allowed us to grow rather than other people had like, this is how I do chiropractic. This is the only way to do chiropractic, and this is how you're going to do it while you're here. Yeah. how do you grow and do that?
Yeah, and it was cool, like yourself, and you went a different direction as far as chiropractic.
Mm-hmm.
It all works. Really, what do you find interesting?
Absolutely. It's what is going to get you out of the bed in the morning and happy to go to work.
Yeah,
really.
And it really is all fun, man. I really love what we do. It's
so fun. It
is a lot of fun. It's almost, it is like a sport in a way. You use like hand-eye coordination to adjust, and it's definitely a skill.
It's a skill, it's an art, and it's really awesome to see like people get better.
Yeah.
And it's cool, like it's even cool to like after people's first adjustment, they have no idea what to expect.
I
and
know.
Like the excitement level on their faces are just like it's unreal.
I think it still amazes me too, like a lot of people have the doubt about chiropractic when they come to see you. It's happened to me a couple of times. I'm sure it's happened to you where, that adjustment was just their best one.
Oh yeah.
And it's like they were always scared, their first time experience. Like those are the ones that you really want to and have all your energy into. I don't know how to describe it, but it's really awesome to see and give them an actual great experience as a chiropractor.
And it's funny talking to random people, quote unquote, don't believe in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's very interesting. Like it's not a religion. What are you believing in? Like it works. It's like scientifically proven that this works. And I mean, obviously you're going to run into people like that with anything.
Yeah.
That it's just going to be their mind is closed before you even start opening your mouth. And
it's and honestly, like I said earlier, like you're going to attract people who want to be there. Mm-hmm. So I don't even, if they're going to just try and prove me wrong on things, I just let them talk. And honestly, I not that I don't care about them. I wish them well, but those are the people I don't want in my office. It just brings the energy down as far as like what you really want to see and how they want to improve.
Yeah, definitely. It's, and you start learning all that with all the different people that start coming in your office. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are like really fun to treat because you get to go through that little process with them, and it's cool to see them get better, and then they start bringing their family
Exactly.
in. That's what's really cool.
That's the cool part is when, and again, being in practice, you start seeing those referrals come in. It means that you're doing something and you're changing. So like, I get goosebumps, it's cool.
Yeah, man. On top of that, what you were talking about before is you're your own boss.
Exactly.
Which is the most phenomenal thing that you can't really, until it's happened to you, it's like, it's an unreal, like you can make your own hours.
You can do anything
you can do anything you want. Obviously, if you're not there, you're not helping people or making the money.
Yeah.
So you got to find that perfect balance.
Exactly.
But I do find when I'm working like too many days straight, like I'm not my best, and I need that.
And the patients know that too.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, that's funny. You say that.
The patients know that, and they're like, good, you need a break. I've taken 2 breaks, and they said, good, like you deserve it. Yeah. And that's also, it's nice because they know you shouldn't be, really working all the time.
That's funny you say that too, because like you have some patients that come in that are like, are you all right? Like, like there's some days, like you're human. There's some days that you're not feeling as good as the other, but like as a doctor, you kind of have to put that shield up and be like, I'm good all the time. But there's like your best patients like, are you good today? You should probably.
I know. And it's funny you say too, because I'm in an office too. I got an optometrist in my office in the back. I have 2 other psychologists and life coaches that rent from my space too. So the one lady she's a patient of mine, she's always like, I'm supposed to be really good at this, but she'll come in, she'll have her emotions with me, and she gets right back into her place, and she has to put on that front. But
absolutely, especially when you work with other people. I was working with another doctor too, and sometimes you just vent to each other, and then like you turn around and she's right back in the waiting room. Like,
it's tough to really put that face on the entire time, because we're not always happy. Right. But you have to be able to make sure that, again, your personal life isn't getting in the way of what this patient really needs that day. Absolutely.
You gotta figure out like what hours work for you. Yep. Because what works for one person won't work for the other. Yeah. It's once you find that sweet spot of what hours work for you, how many people you want to adjust, it becomes really fun. Yeah. If you're overdoing everything, it comes out in your work, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I speak to that again, is like I was working 10 to 7. I didn't have a break. I was allowing walk-ins to come in. I was waiting for them. It wasn't fun. Yeah. as much as I try to get people closer together so I do have a break, I was allowing one person to come in at my lunchtime. And I just finally was like, I need to go on break. I need to make sure that I'm having my time.
Right.
And this is my schedule. If it works for you, great. If not, then we gotta go our separate ways there.
You're doing like a family practice right now, right? Like you see all walks of life, everything.
Yeah, I try to. I don't really see as much kids, even infants. It's tough to, get that to come into your office because I guess you really have to market to it.
Yeah.
But I always say, when people ask, kids can get adjusted as well. I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. But again, that's not my specialty, I guess you say. It's like if I had a pregnant lady come in, I helped her, but I said I really think you need to go see someone who's certified in
Webster technique.
Yeah, the IS, what is it? ISCPA, I think it is for kids.
They have a whole niche.
Yeah,
chiropractic for infants and children,
and in those offices too, they have their special pillows.
Absolutely.
They just have all of the stuff for pregnant women and babies. I just don't have that, so I'd rather them get the best care. And,
absolutely.
They can go that way.
And when you realize that you can't do everything, and you start sending people this way and that way, it's amazing what you see comes back at you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all about getting them to the right place, the right time, and again, chiropractic, you can try and help everyone, but sometimes you need to get them out.
Right, and sometimes they need to go see a neurologist or other.
Definitely.
Just to get them going.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned this maybe a month ago or so. Are you leaning towards like sports chiropractic now? Is that something you want to shift your practice to, or?
I don't know. I have an opportunity. Again, I'm working full time my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I have my own practice Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Now the one lady that I work for, she's going through some health issues. She keeps telling me, this could be yours, this could be yours. And she does. She works with sports. She has physical therapy in her office, but it's a lot. She's adjusting 100 and, almost 60 patients a day.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And then those people, sometimes go over to physical therapy. So it's not even that I can't adjust all those patients.
Yeah,
it's more of the business side and how, the insurance side too. She's in network. You need a lot of referrals. It's really tough when it comes down to taking over. And I'm sure you've been through those. Yeah. It's tough. And I don't know. I don't know if I'll lean towards sports medicine, but I don't know. We'll just have to see when that time comes. It's a couple years away.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. I'd really like to have my own place.
Absolutely.
It's
what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You also found a kind of a little niche too, because your girlfriend Amanda she's Brazilian and she helps bring in.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of the Brazilian community. They're very hardworking people. They are in construction. They do a lot of construction, and they're in need. They don't know that chiropractic really helps them. I've seen a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But they all come in with the same pain. They're low back pain.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
And they think it's very expensive. I try and help them out the most that I can, and
I'm sure they're extremely appreciative. Is that something that's in their culture, Brazil? Like in Brazil, do they have a lot of chiropractors floating around, or is it still relatively new? Or
you know what? I think I don't know if you remember the one lady who was starting to overtake the satellite of our school. She was actually from Brazil.
I do remember that girl. Yeah.
I forget her name. But she said there's a chiropractic school in Brazil. Now, I don't know if Amanda would know, but I don't know if there's a bunch of chiropractors out there. But it would be very nice, even maybe one day.
Absolutely,
to head out there. It's beautiful out there.
We're going. We're going next Christmas.
Yeah. So I really don't know, but I think I want to say that she said there is a school out there. But again, I'm not sure of how many practices they have around.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely open. It would be nice, and again, that would be a whole other process to go through all the paperwork, licensing, and all that stuff. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, dude, you guys can choose to talk about this if not, but I was there with the night you guys met, which was awesome. Country night at Bar A a couple of years ago. How did you guys keep in touch? Because you were going back to California. I mean, you guys hit it off that night, but like...
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, at that time, it wasn't anything really. And then I think I was coming home on break, and I texted her. And I just asked if she wanted to hang out. So we did. We hung out a couple nights in a row. It was fun. She was fun to be around. It was.
My man is right here, by the way.
It was good. And then, she was never in California. She wanted to travel while she was here, so I told her to come out. Mm-hmm. She actually met your mom before my mom, which is hysterical.
Oh my God.
Kelly Pekka can really dig into those questions.
Oh, you were on the hot seat probably.
So it was nice though. I mean, she met Brooke and Jeremy. Brooke came out at that time too. Mm-hmm. I think that was Jeremy's second semester of school.
Right, yeah.
But then I think that was our second year there. And then I came back. We hung out again on break. And then she flew out again for my birthday. And it kind of just really – it just clicked.
Yeah.
It was nice to know that I didn't really have to like try.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good. It felt good. And she's just awesome.
Yeah, she is. Fact. Yeah. I think we were both pretty run down from those California gals anyway. They were just different.
Yeah, they're different out
breed.
There. They don't – yeah. I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah. But yeah, and I think another huge thing that helped you out too was Ed coming out for that one.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun.
And Mooka came out. That was unreal.
Yeah.
We had some.
I wish, honestly, they came out in like one of the hardest semesters.
Where did they start? Like 6?
That was our sixth term summer. And that was when like everything was getting thrown at us.
Oh, that's right. That was the toughest one.
That was one of the toughest.
I remember girls crying, like coming out of classrooms. That's like that term, and it was just bad. In that term, I really tried to hit it hard in the beginning because I know towards the end, it was just going to get shot. I was probably blacked out for like 3 weeks after that term ended. Like nightmares of me not passing, like waking up midnight, like I didn't pass this class. Didn't know if the term, like I'd be back in my bed at home. Didn't know if it was over or not because it was just red alert for 6 weeks.
Yeah. And I think it was the same class. It was X-ray and PT.
X-ray, PT, and was there one more? X-ray and PT were definitely...
Yeah. I think in that term, I had like a 71 going into both of those
I had a
finals.
72, yeah. And I remember getting out of X-ray, and I was like, no. Definitely. Well, Johnson... Oh,
I was on that plane. That's all I was thinking about. I was going to see my mom, actually.
I drove you guys to the airport. You guys were like, your flight was at 4:15. I think I dropped you off at the airport at 4.
Not only were we rushing to get out of the final, so that probably wasn't bad or a good idea either, but I was rushing to make a flight to go see my mom. And all I could think about on that trip was, did I pass these 2 classes? And I finally woke up one morning down there and I just rose my hands up like, yes, this is it. Finally, and then 7th term hit. That was when we were in clinic and it was starting to get more surreal by the day.
I'm glad, we passed everything all at once because that would have been so weird if it was like, because you're always like, everybody in chiropractic is constantly like, how did you do? What'd you get on this?
And that's that was more annoying than anything.
And then, oh man, if like, I can't imagine if like, you passed a part of boards and I didn't, I would have felt like the biggest.
Yeah, like, it would have been tough. 100%.
I mean, it happens. It's no fault to anybody because it's tough stuff. But I'm just glad we got
did it all
everything
one shot
because that's a tough. But you look back on it and it's like there were a lot of good times too.
Oh yeah,
we had some. Like I don't know another time where I'll have 3 weeks off 3 times a year.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That was cool.
Yeah, and honestly, the one thing I do regret, I wish we went to Hawaii.
We were right there.
Yeah. That's the one thing. I mean, we didn't really do too much because I think we just couldn't use our brains after the semesters.
No, and we were living in like one of the most beautiful. So we were like right on the beach.
Yeah, and I mean you don't really have to leave that spot.
You don't want to leave the traffic and everything. You just stay put.
Yeah.
All right. So we were 45 minutes outside of LA in Huntington Beach, and we would have to go once a week to LA.
Yeah.
During both rush hours.
Ugh.
That was a 6-hour round trip.
Would you ever do it again?
Ways. No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, no, you go.
Yeah.
I would tell the teacher to go. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Because the treatment was awesome, and we'd be done by 3 o'clock, and we wouldn't get home till like 7.
Yeah. And that, I think, again, probably the toughest part about going into LA.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks LA is great, and it is. But if you stay in LA, if you're traveling out of it,
it's a good spot.
But yeah, we worked at a place where, again, people needed us. I think it was awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
They were getting free treatment. They let us do.
Well, we worked at an AIDS clinic,
which
was pretty awesome because those people were so grateful.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything
that was just happening to them. They were allowing us to really, be a doctor.
Yeah, do what we
in
want,
school. It was nice. It was really nice to see, and it felt good.
Yeah. And then at that other spot we went to, I don't think those people had any health care either, right? Maybe.
What was the other one?
It was in that building.
Oh, yeah. That was the OC clinic.
Yeah. No, that one was, so we had those 2 spots in LA we would go to. The AIDS clinic and it was the one before the AIDS clinic.
That's right. I forget the name of that, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Being out there. I tell people this all the time. I can go spend 1, 2, maybe 3 months out there and have a great time, but it's that 4th month where I need to it was good coming back to Jersey for breaks because it was just this is real life. It was a refresher.
It's just 2 different types of energy.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Surroundings. Obviously we have our family here, but I just felt like Cali just didn't have that close network of friends.
No, you know what? There wasn't a lot of community.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Everything's so spread out.
Yeah.
Just there's no well, I'm sure there is, but you don't see it a lot. When you're on the East Coast, it's welcome to Howell, welcome to Freehold, welcome,
True.
You know which town. There it's just rolling. It's all the way across. And I did feel a lack of community out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we were both fortunate enough to live with people from the East Coast the entire time.
True. And that was also, I think we just attract each other in a weird way. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Dude.
But met a lot of people from the East Coast, and they were just the best. I mean, they were just a lot more fun.
Yeah. And then you have people like Brady that are hilarious and awesome. And
he could maybe survive out here.
No, Brady would be shot. Brady would be done. It's funny, all the people. Yeah, a couple people from Washington, completely different world up there. I'm sure too. It's when you put them all together. It's funny to see what happens.
Yeah, it's definitely strange.
But California has that overall effect on everybody. It's almost like you become
California.
It's
weird.
It happens to everybody. And then you come back to Jersey and people are making fun of you. It's dude, what are you doing?
Seriously, I think I would come back here and not know how to, number 1, form a sentence, and number 2, not how to dish it back.
Oh yeah, no, that was a good wake up call just to get the banter back. And then you go back over there and start doing it to them and chill out.
I think me and you just really ripped a lot of people apart in class.
Well, we would literally walk around chiropractic school and people would there's the Kevins. Because I think we just kind of kept a lot to ourselves. And
but also give a lot of people.
We give a lot of people a hard time.
Yeah.
But it was all in good fun.
Yeah, it was. I think they just started hating us at the end.
Yeah, man.
It was.
Definitely an interesting.
Great experience.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad I did it. I think if I went anywhere else, I probably would have. I'm glad I just went to California.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know another person would you say it would be fair to say I spent almost every day of my life, we spent with each other for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Because even when we came home, we were in the same network.
Exactly. I think that started getting tough too. I would see you and we would be like, what's up again?
Dude, we would wake up, we would drive an hour to school, we would go to school all day, we'd come back, and I'd just be like, yo, I have nothing to say.
Yeah, it was studying.
It was tough.
It was studying. Especially the first 4 or 5 semesters, we did everything together.
Yeah. We definitely needed that little break just to...
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
It was. Again, spending every single second of the day together. We were pretty much in a relationship.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds. It was driving, class, sitting next to each other, studying.
Well, you know what's funny?
Going to the gym.
Yes.
You know, and again, it just started
We
getting.
did all the same activities.
Yeah.
But it's funny studying with somebody when you're exhausted while you're trying to teach somebody something and like one person's brain's off and yours is on. And it's just like, you just don't know what to like. So you got to just, we had that whiteboard in our kitchen.
Yeah.
That we would just start scribbling on.
Whether it made sense or not.
Yeah. Would you say chiropractic school was just pure memorization?
In the beginning?
Yeah. For
Definitely.
the first couple years.
Yeah, I think in the beginning. And then it just started getting a little bit more conceptual with like physiology and you know, what was that one class? Term 3. With Carlos.
Was it physiology?
I think so.
Cellular physiology? Oh, that was with Vasco.
I forget what it was, but it was just that class started again. That was third term. It was really hard, but I think the memorization part. Yeah, I mean, it was just a lot.
Yeah,
it was just so much.
And then like on top of that, like
GIGU. That's what it was.
That was bad. And then on top of that, you take Vasco class,
neuroscience.
Neuroscience.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm sitting at home coloring in a coloring book for an hour. Like, do you think I don't have anything else to do right now? It's like I have all this studying. You have to have this coloring page completed.
Yeah, that was bad. I think that was
the constant busy work.
The constant busy work was the tough part.
Yeah, but after going through that, I mean, what's really gonna rattle you at this point? Like frazzle you? Like it was just high pressure, high intensity all the time. Like it kind of got us ready for like what was coming next, even though it's completely different. But it's like it's tough to get rattled when your brain has been rattled for 3 years.
Seriously, it was good, man. I think when we graduated, it was just like I'm not looking at a book for like a year.
Yeah,
and I haven't. Yeah, you know, to learn something else right now is it's tough.
Well, and you know what I was a little naive about, like right after school, like actually it was a couple months after when I started trying to do my own practice. Like I thought everybody in the business world like had my best interests, like whether it was talking to these people to make sure the new office is ready. Yeah. Like I would call them like, "Hey guys, how you doing? Like how's the office coming?" "Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good." I'm like, "Okay." And then I would call back and I wouldn't hear from them for like 3 or 4 weeks. And the woman I was working with, Dr. Bancher, was like, "Are they working on your place? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, they told me they were." And it's like, you have to bother.
No, I remember you. Yeah. You were kind of stressed out because I was
just panic attacks.
It just kept taking an extra week.
They weren't doing anything.
Out in Jersey, you need, what is it, a CO, right? To make sure that the building is ready to go for occupancy.
Dude, I was freaking out. I had so many setbacks that it's like little stuff I didn't know about, like hard wiring. Do you want like they would just send me emails. Do you want hard wiring or non-hard wiring in your office? And I'm like, I don't know.
This one.
This one. And then it's like you go back and like you try to pretend to other people that you know what you're doing. And they're like, "Why did you do that?" Like, and then it's like, oh, like so it was a huge learning curve. And
and I'm
lawyers.
Sure
you have to have a lawyer to make sure you can't sign anything without. That's huge. You can't sign anything without talking to somebody.
I don't know that part, and I'm sure it's so tiring to even just to be on the phone constantly.
That's constantly. You know what? It's being on the phone with Verizon and just like the contractors and being on hold.
Well, it's not you don't reach anybody for an hour anyway.
It's draining. That's probably the most draining. And then, I was very thankful for that, just to be all over and done.
And finally just settle in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was a huge process, I'm sure.
That was a huge we signed the lease in April. All right, so the thing was, we signed the lease in April, and the new practice was starting August 31st, whether I liked it or not, because the woman sold the house that we were working out of.
Yeah,
so I didn't have a spot to practice. So, like I said before, I would call the contractors, and just being like naive, and I'd just be like, "Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah,
good to see you. How's the space coming?" And they'd be like, "Don't worry about it, it's good." And I would take that, and nothing would be done. And so August 1st came around, and nothing was done. And then
the timeline is just so important when you're just getting ready.
Absolutely. So I was calling them once every 3 weeks in the beginning, and then I would call them every day. And then once they found out I was serious, the office wasn't ready by August 31st. I had to see
like random people at the office. It wasn't ready to go by September 15th, but oh man, was I waking up and having like anxiety attacks for no
Yeah, that's
when you think about it, no reason.
exactly.
But it's crazy.
That's business.
Yeah.
That's what they don't prepare you for.
They can't.
They can't.
Yeah. And it's funny too because like there was some kids in our class that like thought they had it mapped out, and it's like it's good to have that confidence level, but
Definitely.
you can't.
Yeah.
You can't have it mapped out until it happens to you.
Yeah, you just got to experience it.
And there's a lot of people telling you what you can't do.
Exactly.
And you can't listen to them.
No, and actually, the lady that I'm working with now,
Yeah.
she saw me. She wanted me to come right in after school.
Yeah.
And I exerted that level of confidence to be like, I want to have my own practice.
Yeah.
She's like, Kevin, you can't because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You might be right.
you might be right, but how am I going to know until I actually do it? And then I was actually getting ready for an interview with another guy in Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting down, I'm at Stay Gold with this guy, and he's telling me he did 1.2 million last year. I look at him, I'm like, if you can do 1.2 million, I can have my own practice. Because I can do it. I knew that I can do it.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I was like, I'm not working for you. I'm opening up in Ocean right next to you. and that's where it really, I had my mind set up. It was it. I saw some people, I'm like, how are they in their own practice?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Absolutely. And
I can do that.
That's probably like more than half the battle right there. Knowing that you can do it. And
Yeah.
I mean, if you really just don't take no for an answer, it will get done. It might take a little longer because you don't know what you're doing. But if you just keep following through it and not giving in to all the roadblocks, I think eventually you'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's been the best thing that's happened to me. And I'm so happy I did it. And I'm sure you're right there with you, just having your own place.
Yeah.
You can tell people you have your own practice. It's just really nice to say and eventually just be, again, your own boss, like we said in the beginning.
Yeah. All right, Kevo. So, Kev, what's your website? Where are you located? Where can people find you?
I am located Route 35 in Ocean. It's called Pure Chiropractic. My website is purechiropractichealth.com. All the information's right there. Yep, come check me out.
Beautiful. All right, Kev, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Again. Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. My private practice is located in New Jersey at Montclair Upper Cervical Chiropractic. If you have any additional questions about today's podcast, other episodes, or any questions about Blair Upper Cervical Chiropractic in general, feel free to visit my website at drkevinpecca.com or subscribe to my YouTube channel at Dr. Kevin Pecca. Hope you enjoyed the show. Cheers.